Hi everyone, Rupert here from Klipfolio. I'm here today to talk to you very quickly about our integration with Salesforce and how a very small feature we've just added should make everybody's life a little bit easier. First of all, there are two main ways to get data from Salesforce into Klipfolio. The first way is by using the native reports in Salesforce. You create the report, you connect to it, and pull the data in. It creates a data source and away you go. The big limitation with that is it has a 2,000 row limit, and that trips up a fair number of people. The second way is with a native Sokol query. That's much more robust and allows you to basically create any query you like using the native Salesforce language to get the data you want and pull it back into Klipfolio. The big limit with this is that it brings back data in a raw JSON format, and that's only a problem if you're uncomfortable working with JSON. Many people are. They like tabular formats. The other thing is JSON's an ineffective, or not ineffective, but inefficient file storage format, meaning the files you bring back are fairly large. That bumps into the Klipfolio 10 meg data size limit on a fairly regular basis unless you're very selective about the kind of data you pull in from Salesforce. So the one small feature we've just added actually addresses both of the challenges with pulling back data from using the second method, which was Sokol. And in that, it allows you to now pull back the data in a native CSV file format. This does two things. One, it makes the data infinitely more usable. And two, it actually brings back much smaller files. In fact, the factors that we're seeing in some of our tests are as much as 3 times as small, which is a huge advantage for people who are trying to work with Salesforce data and are bumping into those two challenges. Let's take a quick look. So we're in our Help Center here, looking at a document which describes the integration with Salesforce.com. It's the standard 2 methods that I've just described to you. And you can go in and try both of these. It discusses all of the things that we just talked about on this video. But let's jump into an actual live example. Here's the standard reconfiguration data source that you might be looking at from Salesforce.com. You'll notice that it's got a red warning sign saying that it's been disabled because it's failed too many times. Well, we know from experience that that's probably because we've bumped into this 9.8 megabyte size limit. Okay, and you also notice that it's in JSON, which means we've used the Sokol method to pull back the data from Salesforce. Now, here's what we recommend you do. First of all, go in and duplicate this data source, because what we're going to do is we're going to replicate this data source but change the output format. Okay, in this case, we'll call it copy. I think we're going to need to call it copy 2 and save. This is going to create an identical data source to the one we had before, and it will allow us to go in and reconfigure it. In this case, we're just going to reconfigure to a different output format. So we sign in to Salesforce.com. It's now going to authenticate us, and it's going to offer us the Sokol query we used, but it's going to tell us it's in the raw JSON format. In this case, very simple. We're going to go in and we're going to change to tabular. Once we've done that, we're then going to submit that Sokol query. Salesforce will then receive the query and return the results for us, as we'll see here, in a tabular CSV format. And there we see our tabular results returned for our Sokol query. Easy for people to use. And now let's see how small a file it made for us. Wow, look at that, 3.1 megabytes. That's almost 3 times as small as the 9.8 we had. Now, it also just said it's disabled. Let's just re-enable that data source, queue it for refresh, and we should be good to go. Now, our final step we won't show here in this video, but you'll need to go in and repoint this new data source by column to each of the spots in your clip where you may have used them. Thanks for listening. Good luck with Salesforce, and happy dashboarding.